Usually the disinformation we saw was pro-Trump. We'll investigate, and then it goes up to another team to take it down.
Okay, so like the mainstream media does the job for you guys.
Basically.
Okay.
Meet Matthew Fowler, a software engineer at Meta. If you thought we just had one Meta insider come forward, think again. We're going to introduce you to a handful of other Meta subjects. Meta employees love our journalists. Let's introduce you to our next Meta subject, Michael Zurab. He too spoke about their efforts to censor conservatives, sharing that most fact-checkers label conservative posts as false.
The vast majority of what fact-checkers label as false is shared by conservatives. And so any policy that demotes content that is labeled false by fact-checkers is going to disproportionately affect conservatives.
Now for our last subject of Plamen Dzhelepov, who also holds the title of engineer at Meta, the Meta engineer reveals right-wing people on Meta are either censored or flagged as disinformation on their site.
Meta has the right to suppress anything.
Yeah, but it seems like they're biased if they do that.
So,
Against the Republicans. I personally don't care, but
Yeah.
that's what they think.
So do you guys actually suppress those crazy conspiracy right-wing people when they post just absolute garbage?
Like I said, I think it's
Yeah.
it's either censored or it says a community note thing where it says if this is disinformation, it's probably fake, blah 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah under the post.
Well, here we go. The market has plunged again. The writing is on the wall. It's time to take action. The elites and big banks are pulling the strings, creating financial chaos to strip you of your wealth. Don't let them win. Call my friends at Bishop Gold Group right now. They'll help you shield your assets with gold and silver, the ultimate fortress against this financial tyranny. Act now before it's too late. Protect your future, protect your freedom, protect your retirement. I'll put the link and phone number in my bio so you can get a hold of them anytime. If you thought we just had one Meta insider come forward, think again. We're going to introduce you to a handful of other Meta subjects who had plenty to say about Meta's censoring practices.
The news is going to do their job, and then based on what the outlets say, I'm sure they're going to basically
Okay, so like the mainstream media does the job for you guys.
basically.
Okay.
Meet Matthew Fowler, a software engineer at Meta. During an undercover date with our OMG journalist, Matthew Fowler reveals how Meta handles disinformation.
Usually the disinformation we saw was pro-Trump.
So let's say if they have a dangerous rhetoric, right? I don't know, it's some kind of, pro-Republican bullshit, let's say, right?
Yeah.
Let's say they're saying illegals are killing and eating all the dogs and cats. So that's something that you guys investigate and you take that down.
So we don't take it down.
You investigate, sorry.
We'll investigate, and then it goes up to another team to take it down.
Fowler also expressed concern about Meta's political landscape, admitting, quote, "Pretty much everyone I know there is liberal."
I think Meta is more more democratic, more patriotic.
More people. Yeah, pretty much everyone I know there is liberal.
What is Zuck doing? Is he
He's playing the game.
Do you think he's distancing himself from the Democrats?
I think he's distancing himself from everyone. He's trying to play the games based on who's going to win the election.
Now, let's introduce you to our next Meta subject, Michael Zurab. Zurab is a data scientist at Meta, and like his other Meta counterparts, he too spoke about their efforts to censor conservatives, sharing that most fact-checkers label conservative posts as false.
The vast majority of what fact-checkers label as false is shared by conservatives. And so any policy that demotes content that is labeled false by fact-checkers is going to disproportionately affect conservatives.
But why are they labeled as false? Is it because they're inherently false, or they are just the fact-checkers have inherent biases?
I mean, it's probable. I doubt the fact-checkers are completely unbiased.
Zurab also shared to our OMG American Swiper that most fact-checkers at Meta are liberal-coated.
Would you say most of your fact-checkers are liberal?
I mean, they're mainstream media, so I think that would be liberal coded. So the Hunter Biden story, the Hunter Biden laptop story is one example. And so apparently the FBI, I think, told Mark or told Meta like, hey, there's this big story that's gonna release and the Russians are involved with it. And then like the next day, this Hunter Biden laptop story comes out in the New York Post, and so Meta like reduced the dissemination of that post on Facebook, like through ranking. Like we just downranked it.
Oh, I see.
So it just appeared on people's feeds less.
So the question is, can you really be a fact checker if you are liberal coated? Now for our last subject of Plamen Dzhelepov, who also holds the title of engineer at Meta, he too decided to meet with an OMG American swiper. Meta employees love our journalists. Quite fascinating. The Meta engineer reveals right-wing people on Meta are either censored or flagged as disinformation on their site.
Meta has the right to suppress anything.
Yeah, but it seems like they're biased if they do that.
So
Against the Republicans. I personally don't care, but
Yeah.
that's what they think.
But I mean, does Meta can Meta censor anyone?
I think they can because it's a private company.
So do you guys actually suppress those like crazy conspiracy right-wing people when they post like just absolute garbage?
Like I said, I think it's
Yeah.
like it's either censored or it says like a community note thing where it says like if this is disinformation, it's probably fake, blah 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah under the post.
Now we're only a couple weeks from a presidential election. Here at OMG, we have just uncovered one of the most damning stories of 2024 regarding a social media company trying to sow influence on political discourse. If anything, we need to always hold those in power account, including the media, including the tech companies. If you're on the inside of these companies or inside the government, we urge you to speak out and shine a light on the corruption happening inside your company. Contact us at tips.o'keefemediagroup.com or send us a DM on Instagram or X. We'll have an OMG journalist reach out to you as soon as possible, and stay tuned. Does anyone really trust the healthcare system? Well, thankfully, there still are some good guys left in healthcare, like our great friends at The Wellness Company. The Wellness Company has been with OMG since day one, and now they're proud to introduce the ultimate first aid emergency kit, meticulously created to ensure your access to life-saving prescription medications, personal protective equipment, and other essentials by empowering you to take control of your health journey. Now you and your loved ones will be prepared for the next shortage or whatever they try to pull. My team and I have our kits with us in the field at all times. Don't get caught without the medications you need. The Wellness Company's First Aid Medical Emergency Kit can make all the difference. Order your medical emergency kit now and save 15% by using code OMG. That's twc.health/OMG. Go to twc.health/OMG. Again, that's twc.health/OMG.